everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nokuthula Khonqenqethane, and if this is your first time tuning in on this channel, where have you been? Where have you been? Thank you very much for stopping by. Please do reside here simply by subscribing so that you can get a notification every time I upload a video. So about today's video, I just want to talk about something that will not take a lot of your time, but something that I really think that we really need to encourage each other into doing, especially as the children of Father God. So I wanted to share what I watched on TikTok the other day, a video where they were demonstrating how it will be on Judgment Day. How are we going to be accountable? And it made me realize, or it just clicked on something that I usually say to people, that to live a life of a calling has nothing to do with being the fivefold ministry, right? It has nothing to do with that. You don't need it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be in the fivefold ministry to say that you are called. I would love to believe that as soon as we accept Christ and make Christ the center of our lives, and we live a life of being abantwana baka Thixo, it makes us to live a life of being called. We are called to go out, and we have been given the Great Commission that we should go out and make other disciples. That is a calling upon every believer. Every believer. Whether you are preaching at your church, whether you are at the worship team, whether you are cleaning at your church, but we all have been given a responsibility of making other disciples. Remember when he prayed for us, Uti, I pray for those who are not here today, those you are going to preach unto, and they're going to believe what you are bringing without me being there physically. I pray for those people. And that cycle has been happening up until now. We are also born again Christians. We got to be exposed. Christ had impacted our lives like nobody's business. And that is because there was one particular person who took their responsibility and carried out. And we are also responsible, Bazalwane, of bringing other believers. We are responsible of bringing other believers and disciples. That is the responsibility. So that is the life of being called a child of God. You are also called to win souls. And when we say to win souls, it doesn't mean that you need 500 souls, 50 souls. You could just win your family souls, your friends' souls, or you could bring an impact in other people's life by the way you live. And also you need to, there's just another point that is coming. Also, you need to take an initiative in talking about Christ. I know we are not all preachers, but just to talk, just to give a testimony what God has done in your life. That's you preaching, my sister, my brother, my mother, my father. That's you preaching. That's you saying that there is a God in heaven that saves lives. There is a God in heaven that cares for you. There's a God in heaven that has greater plans for you. There's a God that is able to redeem our lives. There's a God that has greater plans for us. So I want us to take that ownership or that responsibility of winning souls. Let it not happen by chance. Hey, George. Let it not happen by chance, but be intentional about it. I know it's not easy as it's said, but let us be intentional about it and let us be bold about it. We've got nothing to lose, and we have been and trusted with it. The second thing that I want to talk about, it's about serving in our local churches. It's very important. I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, also it doesn't have any speciality. Serving at your local church doesn't have any speciality. There is no special talent that you need, special character that you need. It just needs a willing heart and a humble soul. Why a willing heart? Because when you serve, you are not doing it for your pastor, you're not doing for people to clap hands for you, but you are doing to serve God. And when you do it, you need to be humble. When you are serving, you need to be humble. Why do I emphasize in being humble? Because there are times where you serve God innocently and you get people clapping hands for you because the work that you do is quite impressive. It's so easy that you could get pride out of that thing. So be humble and know that what you are doing, even if people may clap hands for you, you are not doing it. Even if they won't clap hands for you tomorrow, but you still continue doing it, and doing it with the same energy that you had when you started, with the same energy you had when people were clapping hands for you, because you are not pleasing men, but you are doing it to serve God. And another thing is that when you serve in your local church, you get to hear God more. I don't know, maybe it's my only experience, but I know some people, and I know it from my own experience, that when you serve a church, you get to seek more of God. It's not like the same when you were seeking God because you're just a child of God, but the fact that you there's something that you are doing, you acknowledge that God, it is through your strength, okay, it is through you that I'm able to worship. It is through you that I'm able to be committed in coming and cleaning the church hall. And it's you that gives me the ability. It's you that makes me to be this commitment. And the more you are that humble, is the more you hear God. It's the more you are able to recognize his voice. You know his voice. You know how he speaks to you. Because that's what serving does. You get to seek God more. And the more you seek God, the more you hear his voice. So I hope that really makes some impact in your life, that it's really important. Don't get used in just going to church and coming out without having any commitments. Do have those commitments, because you do not know what those commitments will prepare for you, or you do not know what those commitments could open doors for you that you never thought you would enter, but because of you have been committed. But I don't want to put it out there as if do this and then you're gonna get this reward, but I want you to do it even if there's no reward, but there's slim chances of not having a reward when you spend more time with God and when you avail yourself. And as I have mentioned, that it doesn't need any speciality. When I started serving at church, I was cleaning, and I would clean the entire church hall on my own, and I would pray, and I would just speak to God and hear God loud and clear. So the other thing that I want to mention is that on my experience, that I'm very horrible up until this day. I'm very horrible in arranging chairs at church, but the only thing that pushes me to even arrange chairs is that it's because, Lord, I serve you with my energy, with my entire being, with everything that I have. I'm here to serve you. So they might be not really aligned, but this is what I'm here. This is what I am doing. This is what I want to do, because I am serving God. So my point here is I'm trying to say is that don't wait to be perfect on something. or you don't have to be perfect in order for you to say, you know what, hey, I'm gonna be leading at the worship team, or I'll be doing some other stuff. There are other stuff that I'm still doing to this day at my church that I didn't think of perfection when I wanted to do those things, but I just saw a gap and then I just filled in that gap. And also there's always something to do in the house of God. There is always something to do in the house of God. If you can be creative at your workplace, you can be creative at school, you can also be creative in the house of God. Recently I was thinking, you know what, at church we really need to have the lost and found boxes, because what I noticed is that while we were cleaning, sometimes when we clean the church hall, you find out there are some stuff people left at church and they never pick them up. But if we could announce that we have this, I haven't suggested this at church, but this is the idea that I have, that if we say that we have a lost and found box where if someone left something, or if someone found something, they can just put it on that box, you know, because there's always something to do. But now there's always something to do at church. So that is the importance of serving in church that I wanted to share with you. And I want you to really think about it. There's always something to do. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to imitate anyone. You just need God to... I don't want to say you pray that God may lead you into something. Please think of something that you can do at your church. Initiate. And once you initiate, surely God will reveal more things unto you. But tonight it was a lovely video, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Please do think about what I've just said. Please do avail yourself at church. Please do. Some other things don't even need the leadership to come and bring them up to you, or the pastor to mention those things, but you just need to think about those things and just get in the gap and do the work. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and comment.